Hello, everybody. I'm going to answer some questions. You guys will notice that you write your comments, and I never write back, but I'm going to start answering them here on a feed where I can just express myself. Sometimes the answers are complicated, and it's just too much trouble to get into a deep discussion back and forth. Anyways, somebody wanted to know, why don't I talk about Ed Big Daddy Roth and his association with the Hells Angels? Well, I don't talk about him much because I didn't interact with him much. I was a little bit from the younger crowd, Dougie Pooh, Buzzard. I've stated before, I'd like to get Buzzard sit down with me, and that's probably a question he could address. I hung out with Dick Woods and Von Dutch and those guys. That was more like for my era. So that's why I don't talk about Big Daddy Roth. It has nothing to do with not liking him or whatever. He was real gracious to the club, and he always supported the club. A lot of cool posters he did with Animal and Tiny from the Valley, Tiny from Oakland. I think he might have done one with Tramp. Yeah, he did do one with Tramp. So that's it. Okay. My next question here is, you knew then what we all learned the past couple of years, and I think he's talking about the feds, the extent the government will go to get somebody that maybe gets on their list, if you will. And the only reason I knew is not because I'm a genius, is because they were coming after me. And it's the same thing with all my associates. They were coming after us all the time, and we realized we had really had to be on our toes because these guys would do anything. I mean, they would break the law to enforce it. So, not that we're geniuses, we were just targets. So that's basically how we found out and we knew. And, the rest of the world has caught up with us now. But I remember saying things to people back in the late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s, and they just kind of look at us and raise their eyebrows like, we were really embellishing, but not so. Okay, here's another one. This guy's name is Mark something. George fails to admit what crimes he has participated in or is aware of, and George did not do his civic duty to contact law enforcement and pass on the information. Well, you know what? That's right, and I don't plan on doing it in the future. And in a 1986 trial, I took the witness stand on my own behalf. We later proved that the government had framed me. And, one of the things, I looked at the jury and I said, hey, look, did I try to stop the murder of this guy? No, I didn't. He was a drug dealer. He was a pimp. He was a troublemaker. And I said, perhaps I, broke a moral law, but I didn't break a civil law. I had no obligation to go to the cops and tell them anything. And besides, it was the cops that set the whole thing up. So, Mark, I don't even know why you're here, man. And it always confuses me. I guess you just want to come here and complain a little bit. This type of conversation would be better face to face, Mark, if you get my drift. Okay. Now I'm going to get into this last question. Why wasn't Sonny buried in the Oakland cemetery with the rest of his crew? And, I can't answer that question. And I will tell you this. When Sonny transferred back to Oakland, although people aren't supposed to talk to me, I got several emails that Sonny had gone out. They had had enough of his old lady, his wife, and basically he left. What he said was he was going back to Oakland so he could be buried in the Oakland cemetery. So, it's a really valid question you're asking. I don't know why. I've certainly explored it. I hope to get the answer one day, and if I do and when I do, I'm going to pass it on, unless I'm told this in confidence by somebody. But I think everybody out there that follows the club life has a right to know why. It just seems kind of odd. And, all those headstones in there, and you'd think Sonny'd be amongst them. Anyways, I've got no real answer, but, we'll keep searching for it. And as far as this guy that's talking all this smack about Sonny, and he talks smack about me, I think he's out of Vegas. I don't address the things he says because I don't want to give any validity to him. You know, he's had informants on his show. He doesn't identify them as informants. It's like when Jay Dobbins came on my show, I made sure that the audience knew he was a former ATF agent. If somebody comes on my show in the future and he happens to be an informant or was an informant at one time, I'll make sure that the audience is the first ones to know. I don't see myself doing that. I've had some bad experiences with informants, so I don't really want to bring them here and make heroes out of them. So that's 4 questions asked and answered, and look for more in the future. Take care, everybody. Happy holidays.